Hello everybody, JP here. This is training update 5 weeks out before IPF Classic Worlds. This video is extremely late. I've been very busy, so I haven't had a chance to put this together. My laptop is about 6 years old and the software I have is really crappy. So it's actually very time consuming to put these videos together. If I had a faster processor, I'd be able to slap these things together quite easily. But that's not the case, so I'm not overly frequent on the YouTubes. This is training up to the 20th of May. So again, this is a very late video. This was training that took place on the 13th of May. So again, very old footage, but nevertheless, still relevant. That was a squat session where I did 190 kilos for a triple. I've since done that for 4. We'll be doing more of that this week again. This is a bench day that I had on a Saturday, and I worked up to a heavy single where I hit a lifetime PB on the comp bench with comp singles. So this is 122.5 here.
Stop! Press! Come on, come on! Right.
So that's the 122.5. That's a lifetime PB. For me, that's a really big deal. The first time I benched 120 was December 2014. So it's been about a year and a half since I first benched 120. Now granted, that was at 74 kilos, it's a full 74, maybe about 77, 78 kilos. I've lost about 7 kilos since then. So although I guess pound for pound my bench strength has gone up, in absolute terms it was such a pleasure to hit that 122.5, so really happy with that. And since then bench has gone extremely well also. Here's some footage of me training on the Saturday, this is on a Sunday at the Australian Rules Football College here in Melbourne. Borrowed someone else's shoes as I wasn't planning on training, but we had a break during one of the workshops that I was involved with. So I had a bit of time, I thought I might as well squeeze in my squat training, so I borrowed someone else's shoes. These are the new Nike ROMs. I got some high bars in as well as some front squats. Didn't have my belt or knee sleeves with me, but that wasn't a problem because I often train without a belt and knee sleeves, particularly for my squat variations like the front squat and the high bar squat. So yeah, training's been going well. Went well this week. Like I said, squatted heavy on that Friday for that 190 for I think it was 3 or 4 reps, and these high bars and front squats went really well. Bench has gone well again. You saw that top set that I did at PB, which I was really happy with. And a couple of days later, in fact, I think this is the next day. This is Sunday night, the day after I benched that one. 22.5 for 1. Here's some doubles at 110 touch and go, and these were really tight, felt really stable. My touches were soft, which is what I prefer to do. I like to do soft touch, that's what I'm working on, and very tight on the bench, so I was really happy with that. And in terms of my back health at the time, so this was again from last week, my back was still bothering me. I haven't been able to deadlift up until this point, so that's why you're seeing so much squatting variations, because I'm replacing a lot of that deadlift volume with squat volume. Trying to keep the strength there, at least through the legs anyway. Here's some box squats that I did as well. I get a couple of questions about the box squat, what's the purpose of it. I kind of use the box squat and the pin squat in rotation if I'm going to use them. I'll get back to that in a second. So I did squeeze it, I'll get back to that idea in a second. I did squeeze in some deadlifts. This was on the Tuesday, and my plan was to just do some repeat triples at 180. And you see on the first set there, I couldn't even get to lockout because as I initiated the pull from the floor, I just felt something in my back go, like that rib or whatever it's been. But I let that kind of cool down a little bit, and I came back and tried another, stubbornly went again, and I did another 2 triples, and you can see that that triple there was very careful, very slow, and very painful. So in total I got 3 sets of 3 at 180, called it quits, did some RDLs here just to the knee, just to get moves going, but even this was giving me problems. So I just decided to cut the session there, and I haven't really deadlifted much. I didn't really deadlift much for the next week. Back to before, my point on the box squats. So I use the box squats and the pin squats for the same reason, and that is to help increase, I guess, strength at that specific spot. Now I use a high box and a high pin around the level of the sticking point, maybe just a little bit below the level of the sticking point in a squat. When there's no velocity at that point, that is you're pausing at that point, whether on the pins or on the box, you have to overcome inertia, which basically means you need to apply more force than the bar is applying force downwards on you in order to create acceleration on the bar. So basically you're increasing force production at that specific position, joint angle, muscle length, and the idea is to increase strength again at that specific point, which is biomechanically the weakest in the squat. So I do like to use pin squats. Greg Knuckles uses Anderson squat variation, same thing, as well as box squats. That session was actually the last session of box squats that I'm doing for this whole block, and I'm replacing them with pin squats for the next 4 weeks, which you're going to see in my update that's coming this week. Here you see some pause squats again. So I'm doing some low bar squat variation 3 times a week. Main squat day, the pause box squats as you saw, and then this session of pause regular squats as well as some wrap squats. On this session I worked up to 200 for 3. I'm using the SPD training wraps. They're very soft. I wrap them myself, not overly supportive, but they just give me a little bit to give me a bit of confidence in the lead up to my main squat session, which is on the Friday. So this was done on the Wednesday night, and this wasn't too bad. Again, like I said, this is 200 for 3, which I could do raw, but it's good to give me the confidence without kind of interfering and creating too much fatigue before my main squat session on the Friday. That's it from me. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I don't expect you to share this with friends. It's not an overly interesting video. This is just something that I do to, I guess, create a log. I can look back on this myself. And I guess for those that are interested, you can follow along my training in the lead up to the Classic Worlds. I leave in only 4 weeks, which is very, very soon. I'm really looking forward to that. Again, any questions, let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll just let the rest of the video play out. Thank you. Bye.
I can go on if you'd like. This is really heavy.
Joey, come back! How the fuck did you get a bicycle? Holy crap, I'm running like a bicycle person. Oh my god.